There's a reason why some real estate investments fail to perform even in strong markets. Very often, it's because the investment was evaluated without first understanding who was actually going to use it. When you ignore the user, you don't analyze demand, you assume it, and assumptions are where most investment mistakes begin. In this video, I want to show you what some investors overlook when evaluating real estate and how changing this one perspective can completely reshape the way you read real estate opportunities. Let's talk about Airbnb now. And to understand it properly, we need to change the starting point. Before looking at buildings, layouts, or returns, we need to understand the Airbnb guest. Airbnb is one of the most talked about investment models today, and also one of the most misunderstood. There are myths, outdated assumptions, and a big gap between perception and reality. So instead of starting with the investment, let's start with the user. Who is choosing Airbnb today? Why are they choosing it? And what problems are they trying to solve? When you answer those questions clearly, everything else begins to fall into place. That's where the real strategy starts. To understand why Airbnb has become so relevant, we need to understand how the guest has changed. The modern traveler is no longer looking for a room. They're looking for a way to live, even if it's temporary. People travel differently today. They work remotely. They travel with family. They stay longer. They mix business with lifestyle. And that has changed expectations. Traditional hotels were designed for short stays and fixed routines: check in, sleep, check out. But today's guest wants flexibility. They want space to work, a kitchen, a living area, privacy without isolation. They want the freedom to adapt the space to their needs. That's where Airbnb fits naturally. Not because it's cheaper, but because it's more functional for how people actually live today. Another important shift is control. Today's guest wants autonomy. They don't want to feel constrained by rigid rules or limited options. They want to cook if they want to, work if they need to, rest without interruption. Hotels, in many cases, have become more restrictive: extra fees, limited flexibility, less adaptability. Even something as simple as accommodating one extra person often requires booking an entirely separate room. Airbnb solved that problem, not with luxury, but with design that adapts to real use. When you understand how the modern guest thinks, you stop seeing Airbnb as a trend. You start seeing it as a response to real behavioral changes. And once you see that, you're ready to move to the next layer: how Airbnb itself has evolved to meet those expectations.